Hey, everybody. By now, it's already been Thanksgiving. It's our last week of November, and yet we still have another day to practice being grateful and showing gratitude. Gratitude is letting others know that we see how they've helped us. We've been looking at Psalm 136:1, which says, "Give thanks to the Lord, for he is good. His faithful love continues forever." We've looked at how there's always something to be grateful for, even when times are hard, even when there's a global pandemic. There's always something we have to be grateful for. We've learned to adjust our attitudes when we start to feel lonely or sad or jealous, because we can remember that there's always something to be grateful for. We've learned to say thank you and how important it is. And we've learned to look back and see the good things that God has done and to celebrate what God has done in our past. And now we're looking at this week, our final bottom line for November. Get in the habit of being grateful, because this is a practice that can help you throughout your entire year, not just around Thanksgiving. We're actually going to look at a whole lot of times in the Bible where people have taken time to get in the habit of being grateful. So I'm going to show a couple cards. And when I do, I want to hear if you can recognize these stories. A lot of them are from the Old Testament, and I love stories from the Old Testament. So let's see if you can recognize them too. This is the Passover meal. Do you know why people in the Bible celebrated Passover? They were remembering a time when they weren't safe, but God kept them safe anyway through a very dangerous night and time. And so they take time to remember that God is with them. Let's look at another one. What's this one? Passover meal in Jerusalem. So hundreds of years later, they're still celebrating what God has done in their past? Huh. Okay, well, what's the next one? Passover meal in exile? Wait a minute. So even hundreds of years after they're celebrating their Passover meal, even when they're in exile in a whole different country, they're still celebrating that thing that God did? Okay, well, let's see the next one. Wait a minute. Over 600 years after they were celebrating the Passover meal in exile, they're celebrating with Jesus and his friends? What? They've been celebrating what God has done and being thankful for what God has done for hundreds of years. Whoa! Let's see if there's another one. Here, this is Paul. He's in the Bible. After Jesus has died and come back to life and gone up to be in heaven, this guy named Paul is celebrating a Passover meal with his friends. Let's do another one. These are believers who are sharing a Passover meal at sea. They're not even like at home, but they're out traveling for whatever reason, and they're taking time to celebrate what God has done. Hundreds and hundreds of years after God did it. Let's see if there's another one. There's a new church celebrating in Rome. Wow! As the church is spreading through different places from Palestine all the way to Rome, they're still celebrating. So even as the church is moving different places all across Europe and Asia, people are taking time to learn about God and what he has done in our lives. Let's see if there's another one. People are celebrating the Passover on the prairie? That's here in the United States. How amazing is that? Let's see if there's another one. A family is celebrating in their house at home. Wait a minute. That looks modern, because this guy has glasses, and there looks like a window or maybe even a TV in this house. That means people today, thousands of years after God did something wonderful, people are still celebrating. In fact, we do. We do celebrate what God has done. People who love God have been celebrating the Passover and all of the different things that God has done throughout history, because we know that it's important to get in the habit of celebrating what God has done, getting in the habit of being grateful. Gratitude is like practicing for a sport. It takes time and it takes practice. And when you get good at it, it becomes a habit. It becomes second nature. So when you recognize something good that God is doing in your life, say thank you for it. Take time and celebrate what God has done. Because God is always working for the good of those who love Him. God is always working to bring His kingdom here on earth so that we can all be in relationship with Him. So, what is one thing you can do right now, here and today, to get in the habit of being grateful? Everybody's answer might be a little different. Some people might want to draw a thank you card for someone. Some people might stop and pray. Some people, your exercise might be sitting quietly and thinking of things you have that you can be grateful for. And it can be hard right now. Some people aren't able to get together with their families for Thanksgiving. Some people weren't able to get together with their families for Thanksgiving. Right now, I'm recording this before Thanksgiving happens. And I know there are a lot of families who are going to miss being with the people they normally celebrate Thanksgiving with. But I want to encourage you, take time to celebrate what God has done. Look around your life and find things to be thankful for, and then thank God. And thank the people in your life who help and are a part of it. Because when we make a habit of being grateful, suddenly the negative and sad things don't have as much power in our lives. And that would be my wish for you, this whatever day it is you're watching. Find something and get in the habit of being grateful for it. Write a letter, draw a card, say thank you, pray. Whatever it is that God is putting on your heart to do to get in the habit of being thankful, do it. Always say yes to God. I'll see you for the next activity.